Hi, this is Dan from Motraker Appliance Repairs. Today I'm going to be showing you how to replace a broken handle on a Fisher and Paykel dish drawer. If you have a phase 6 or 7 square fronted dish drawer, they had a bit of a weakness where the handle would break. Often it was in the bottom drawer because people would inadvertently be lifting the drawer as they opened it because they're leaning down, and the handle insert would just pull out of the main part of the handle. There's a kit being brought out which has got a strengthened handle, also a couple of other little brackets for the front panel which I'll show you. You can get a single handle or you can get two if you've got double dish drawer and you want to get them both done at the same time. There's not many tools needed, as you can see in this photo. All you're going to need is a pair of pliers, a Phillips screwdriver and a flat blade screwdriver just to use as a little lever for prizing things out is also quite handy. Usual disclaimers apply. Make sure you know what you're doing and that you're following all local electrical regulations. So here's how you do it. First thing we need to do is unplug the power and make sure that the power is disconnected. After disconnect the power is take this front panel off. There's a little pin just down here that we just need a pair of pliers and pulls straight out. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then this panel slides straight down and comes out to meet us and disconnect the earth wire. You can see there's a hook shaped here which hooks up into the front, and then the pin is going through a hole there to hold the panel in, so if that disconnected it can slide down, which disengages the top one. Set this to one side, we're going to need that later on. Now what we need to do is disconnect this white harness which connects onto the display board here. The plug just slides straight downwards, and then this top display board, the whole panel, will slide to the left, and once we've got it front and to the left it will lift off. So how this works is that there's a lip here which sits over top of this lip here, and then these panels here sit here and here and then slide across. So we're sliding it along to unlock these, and then it should lift and wriggle up, as well as often having to rotate out slightly. And we're going to take this to the workbench and take the display assembly out of this, and then we'll put all this into the new handle. Actually, my workbench is a bit cluttered at the moment, so I'll put some cardboard here just to stop things from scratching, and we'll do it right here. So, first thing we want to do is, if you have a look in here, there's a little wee clip, and this is a spacer that is sitting in behind the display board. So we want to lift that clip away from there, and then prise this panel up. See, just a little clip on there which is stopping that panel from sliding up. And then this whole display board here will pop down, and we've got to push those buttons so they don't get in the way, and slide out. So you can see on the edge here there are a couple of little pegs, and they are running in these slots which run along and then slide up. Now these pieces here actually slide out, you can see that track, and both of those pop out. They're going to get put onto the new one. This now is rubbish. And what you can see here actually is they've just had the handle was clipped through and then glued. And this one's unusual in that it snapped the clips off. Often it'll snap the clips, or the clips will just pull right through the plastic. On the new handle, you see they've redesigned it. There's now actually a screw screwing through, and it's much thicker up in here, so it can take the weight. Right, so with this new handle, we've got the display board here. Usually these come with a brand new set of buttons. This particular kit hasn't for the top or the bottom. It's a bit unusual. But usually you'd swap your buttons over, put a new set of buttons in. But what we need to do is put these pieces in. You can see there's a little bit of a slot there and grooves just in there where they go into. And then we're going to get those little pins in. They're going to slide along, and then they're going to lift up into position. Then this slides in. There's a keyed part there and there. That slides down until that clip clicks into place, and that's fitted. The other thing you can do now or later on, there is actually a plastic coating over the stainless steel. I'll grab that later. We can peel that off as well. We can leave that on for now. So this is now ready to go back onto the dishwasher. But before we do that, while we're still on the bench here, I'm going to show you what we need to change on the actual front panel itself. what you may notice on your dishwasher is that the old panel may be cracked around here. This one's alright, but it can crack around there. Basically they found that this panel here was sitting too hard up against this top handle when the pins are in, and just putting pressure against that, which cracked the plastic away. So these new frames here, the screws which screw it down into the panel have been changed by I think it's like 1.25 or something like that, a couple of millimeters, which means this whole panel is sitting down just a fraction and not putting any pressure against the plastic. Actually, if you read the instructions, it says 1 millimeter. The holes are reduced by 1 millimeter. So what we've got 3 screws here on each one of these panels. Sorry, which one of these brackets. Now you will notice these are not the same. These are left and a right, and so one has got the earth terminals on it, so that's that one over there. This one we're just replacing with this new one. When you're screwing this in, because there's foam underneath, sometimes the foam can kind of catch your screw and make it a bit hard to turn. So especially on these top ones, it's actually easy to hold that foam out of the way underneath with my finger. Otherwise it's quite strong, and it's amazing how much it'll try and twist that screw back out again. Do the same to this bracket on this side. Right, now we just need to reassemble in reverse order. Okay, so this panel, just need to slide those in there. We're then going to push it down, wriggle all the way along to make sure that it's sitting fully down into onto that lip there, and then it slides to the right. Plug this in. There's a part on the display board labelled LCD/badge. That's what it plugs into. The earth wire is quite important, and it usually helps actually to bend that terminal in slightly. Now to put this back in again, I find it's actually easier to do the bottom first. They'll often be kind of slightly sprung out. This one is, so we're just going to push that in. Get the bottom in first, go upright, and then make sure the bottom stays in. Wriggle it up into place. That lip of the metal is sitting underneath the handle. Handle central, and so our holes should be all lined up for the pins. These pins have got a line on them, and they've got a couple of clips. That line needs to be sitting vertically. They don't twist or turn, they just go straight in. They don't go in, you just have to have a look and see, and maybe wriggle this panel up and down a bit. You're lining up the hole in the metal here with the, hole in the plastic with the hole in the metal with a hook that sits in the rail. We haven't lifted the drawer off the rail, so that shouldn't change, but you just need to make sure everything's all fully lined up. Slides in there, and so now we've got the new stronger handle on and should be back in business.